Hello, everyone. So, today we're going to talk about some of my random thoughts on meditation. So, I've gone back to try to really get hold of the basics of kind of what I used to know, but also I feel like, there's certain times along your spiritual path where you jump ahead too much. I feel like this is one of those times with my own meditation practice where I don't want to do the more advanced stuff, but I need to solidify the foundation that I used to have, and I still have somewhat, but it's important to solidify foundations. That's why I personally always recommend the same meditation foundational technique of being able to breathe and clear your mind, push out thoughts out of your mind. When they come in, first you start off, as you breathe, first you just watch those thoughts go by, but over time you want to gain the sense and the ability to kind of push the thoughts aside. I think Paramahansa Yogananda described it as if you're taking care of a little puppy and the puppy's going off the track, you kind of like lead it gently back. That's what we do with the mind. We are not the mind. It feels like it's us, but there's something just behind the mind that we are, that you feel after you meditate for quite some time, whether it's many sessions or whether it's certain sessions where you go very long. You start to feel that the mind is more the TV screen or the projector, and we're the ones watching it. Now, eventually, after you get past the point where you're just watching your thoughts go by, you want to start trying to be able to lightly push them aside, not forcefully, but like you're leading a puppy. So that foundational technique and tactic is so important because there's other forms of meditation where you need to be able to like focus. It's never completely possible to push out all thoughts in your mind, but you should be able to, when they start to slowly rise back out of those waves, you should be able to calm the waves of your mind. Now, when it comes to mantras, so a lot of people, there are some people that do say mantras verbally while they're meditating, but for clearing your mind, for feeling what's behind, and for going within and not being identified with the external or being connected to the external, and even our mouth in a way is external and what we speak is external. To really do the work of meditation, now I'm just talking about a form of meditation I'm talking about. There's many ways to meditate as there are blades of grass on the earth. Now, I don't mean that I'm talking about combinations. Mantra with certain sitting postures, hand gestures, as well as visualizations. There's so many different variations, but I'm going to talk about one here. So I felt like I started meditating again. I felt like, my old skills were coming back. I kind of got my focus. I kind of got to the place where I was like, where I wasn't thinking it, but I could feel I could make my mind one pointed in my meditation. Sitting stance with my palms or the back of my hands resting on my knees like that, and my spine straight. Very important to have your spine straight. Sit as still as possible. But I started reading Meditation and Its Practice by Swami Rama. And it's supposed to be a very basic book, and it is. I've read about 14 or 15 pages, and I feel like this is what I needed. I need some foundational stuff. But he lightly introduced the idea of mantras. I've meditated with mantras in my head before, but for some reason it sparked something in me where it's like, okay, I need to start. I'm not going to tell you which mantra that I do because it's a little bit dangerous to just start throwing mantras at people as far as what they should use. I've been attracted to a certain mantra in the last few weeks that I've been using, at first not in meditation, in ritual and things like that, but now in meditation. So when you're using a mantra in meditation, at least when you're really focusing on meditation and you're not doing anything external, where you're really trying to both focus and conquer your mind and affect the subconscious mind as well, which affects grander changes if you can affect the subconscious. So the reason why mantras are so good with meditation and affecting change is because they don't have a visual representation. There's not something that you can view at the picture that pops to your mind that's, oh, this is a picture, this is the mantra's picture, or this is its visual representation. It is just sound, syllable, language. So the reason why Sanskrit mantras are the most powerful in my opinion, but I'm Hindu, so I got a little bit of a bias. You can do not verbally, but I'll get to that in a minute. Amen, shalom as well, pronounced different ways. But so when you first start doing mantras during meditation, your mouth is going to want to work. So for a lot of people that haven't encountered meditation before, the idea of visualizing something in the mind's eye and holding that visualization, it's very difficult. It's hard to do. That's not what I'm talking about here. But the other thing that's hard to do is just say something mentally and say nothing else, but just repeat the mantra. Repeat the mantra. And, there's always an om at the beginning of every time you say it. And when you repeat, you say om again. But usually just an om splitting up the mantra segments. But it doesn't have to be complicated mantras or anything like that. But the reason why Sanskrit specifically, not me just saying like, I am love, I am light, something like that, but just in my head, the reason why Sanskrit is so significant is because it taps into the fabric of reality. These are empowered mantras, but they are the formulas that make up creation and everything that is in creation and a lot of things beyond. Sanskrit is not Hindi. Hindi is spoken in India, but Sanskrit's not. It's not a common language. It is a divinely spoken language. It is, if you understand it, if you can get down the mantras, you don't have to like speak it fluently. If you can get down how to pronounce everything, then they are extremely potent for affecting change within yourself, which is what we're talking about here. So when you're saying mantras, what your mouth is gonna wanna kind of, like, if I was gonna use one that's not like too dangerous or like mispronouncing, it's not a big deal, is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. See, I messed myself up. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then say Om again, then repeat. So if you're just saying it in your head, the middle of your tongue's gonna want to say it. That's okay. That's not a bad sign. So when you're trying to say something in your head like a mantra, when you're trying to repeat it again and again, your tongue's gonna want to work. You have to slowly train your tongue, to slowly, if it's gonna move at all, just move at the very back of your mouth, the very back of your tongue. You just want, if you can just get it to where the back of your tongue is barely moving and your tongue is just very barely moving, that's good. Ideally, which, I'm still working on, but I achieve some of the time, is just saying it within your mind. Just saying it within the canvas of your mind. Just saying it in your mind. Your tongue's going to want to work because we're trained that way as people who speak to each other, but just keep on trying to train yourself to just the very back of the tongue is good, just in the head is better. Focus on every single syllable, every single sound in the mantra. Om, A-U-M, Om. And I'm saying it verbally for you, but once again, head, get it to the back of the tongue and eventually to the head. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om. Now, the speed at which you say it can vary, but try to remain consistent however you say it in your head. Consistency is very important. It's a very important thing in meditation. But you will affect real change over time. But make sure that you have down the tactic of being able to really one-pointedly focus on not thinking, which sounds counterintuitive. But meditation is not about. So the meditation we're talking about, it's not about thinking. So this is the core of meditation, really. But meditation is used in a variety of different ways that is not meditation. So it's not about thinking. It's not about trying to figure something out. It's not about aphorisms. It's not about imagining. It's taking, unless you're visualizing, which is a little bit different, but I'll get into that in another video. But it's about stopping all that. And the interesting thing is eventually you'll start to feel yourself, that you start to feel that you're not your mind, that you are something divine, and you feel that. And then that's the same thing that you felt in every lifetime that you've been. In a plant, animal, human being, that same feeling was always behind everything in all those lives. And now that feeling is in you, and that soul is the Atman, the soul, the center of consciousness. Every single thing that your soul has been in has always been that same feeling that you can feel if you meditate well and just get just behind the mind. Reach into the subconscious and realize that there's something even more at the core than just the subconscious or the unconscious mind. That feeling can be felt with the conscious mind if the mind itself, and not just, if you can just be conscious and not mind. So you're getting rid of the mind part, you're taming the mind, and you're just conscious. You know what I mean? Conscious. There we go. That's the word. That same feeling has been in every single life that you've been in. You just got to feel it. The more you feel it, things start to fall in line more often in your life. It's quite wonderful. Anyway, these have just been some of my random thoughts on meditation. I hope this helped. If you like this at all, feel free to share this video wherever you want. Hit that like button down there. It really helps out the channel, gets traffic. Feel free to comment. I try to respond to every comment. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has helped. I hope this has been interesting to all of you. Have a wonderful day.